Yeah, stay prepared for the up and downs. Life is like a seesaw.
What's going on, guys? Just another critic here. Welcome back to the channel. We're continuing my Week 8 college football predictions with the Temple Owls taking on the SMU Mustangs. SMU sitting at 19th in the country, 6-0, 2-0 in conference. Temple Owls sitting at 5-1, 2-0 in conference. Really, essentially right now, SMU is trying to fight for a college, not a college football playoff berth, but a New Year's Six Bowl berth. I understand right now Boise State is sitting in the top 15 already, and they're primed for that NY6 position, but it's college football. As long as you're undefeated and you continue to work week after week, anything can happen as long as you stay undefeated. And so right now, if you're betting on this game, Temple sitting at 4-2 against the spread, SMU sitting at 5-1 against the spread. Right now, the number is sitting at 7.5 in favor of SMU. The over-under is at 59. Let's go ahead and quickly talk about the statistics, and then we can jump into my own personal thoughts and finish up with a score prediction. Right now, Temple putting up 29 points per game, allowing 19 points per game. Offense averaging 280 through the air, 165 on the ground. And then on defense, allowing 199 through the air and 126 on the ground. SMU, on the other hand, putting up 44 points per game, allowing 28 points per game. Offense averaging 291 through the air, 207 on the ground, and the defense allowing 259 through the air and 127 on the ground. As far as this game goes, the big impact players you need to watch out for SMU, obviously Shane Boucher. I think that's how you say his name. Transferred from Texas. Yes, Texas Longhorns. He played side by side with Sam Ehlinger, and he's finally just got his shot to really, be the QB1, and he's done a great job here at SMU. Statistically, throwing for 1,600 yards, 12 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions right now. So obviously the biggest number that jumps out is the turnovers with 5 INTs. Outside of that, the running back, Xavier Jones, this dude is a beast. 114 carries, 646 yards, 12 touchdowns. The dude is just smooth. Like, if you go watch some of his highlights, watch some of his play, this guy's going to be in the league. And then also for SMU, you have James Prochet. Go watch some of this dude's film. 45 receptions on the year, 529 yards and 7 touchdowns. He's pretty much Shane Boucher's number one target. He does have a few other weapons in his arsenal as far as SMU goes. Right now, Temple, majority of their offense coming from obviously their quarterback, but he really isn't amazing. Right now, he has 1,500 yards on the season, 13 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Last year, this guy was a turnover machine. For every touchdown he threw an interception. So last year, he had 14 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, 57% completion percentage. This year, he has a 59% completion percentage, 13 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, and he really isn't amazing. But he's been doing a good job. That's really all I can say. He's been doing a good job. And if I'm gonna, decipher or pick a team, really I'm giving the advantage to all the skilled players on SMU's side. If I had to pick, I'm going to take Shane Boucher. If I had to pick the running back, I'm going to take Xavier Jones. If I'm going to take a wide receiver, it's going to be close. I do like Isaiah Wright for Temple, but I'm going to have to go with James Prochet. And so really right now, the better team on offense, SMU just brings more to the table, more production, more explosive play ability. And then on defense, Temple right now, they have been playing better. They haven't played the best on the road. I think that's going to be one of the bigger issues for them coming into this matchup. They will be at SMU, and SMU has, well, obviously they're undefeated, so they've played really well anywhere. But right now at home, they're just crushing teams. Outside of the Tulsa game that they went to triple OT, they smashed North Texas 49-27, smashed Texas State 47-17, and then ended up going to that triple OT with Tulsa, where they were able to pull out that dub. But outside of that, Temple, their only loss was on the road to Buffalo, and now Buffalo really isn't looking like an amazing team, just coming off a loss versus Miami, Ohio. But really, I'm going to have to give the advantage, if we're giving Temple a advantage, it's going to be on defense, because they have played much better on that side of the ball more consistently. But at the same time, really, if we kind of look at their schedule, Maryland, Buffalo, Georgia Tech, East Carolina, Memphis. Memphis was easily the best offense that they had played all season long. And in that matchup, they allowed 129 on the ground, 363 through the air. And so coming into this game against SMU, who is really finding success in both phases of the game, passing and running the ball, like I said, with Xavier Jones on the ground, Shane Boucher through the air with James Prochet. There's so many Shays on this team, my goodness. But offensively, man, a Tulsa team who had been playing all right defensively, they ripped them for 310, 288 versus TCU. Texas State, they went for 390 on the ground. And so they're getting consistent play on both sides in both phases of the game, in the run game and through the pass game. Defensively, they haven't been, I guess, as good as Temple. But like I said, Temple hasn't really faced an amazing offensive, I guess, threats that I think SMU will challenge them with. The biggest one, like I said, now that we've got a better gauge on teams, right? Maybe when they're playing Maryland, we thought it was Maryland, but the way that the season has gone on, Maryland really isn't looking as dangerous as we thought they were. And so for those reasons, I'm going to have to go with Memphis, because we know what Memphis brings to the table. Very high-powered offense. They've got a lot of speed. And in recent history, Memphis has just been one of those offenses in the AAC that has found a lot of success and really presented a lot of teams with issues in defending what they bring to the table. SMU on the other side, as far as defense goes, I guess the toughest offense that they face may have been North Texas, right? North Texas is another air raid team. I think his name's Mason Fine, at quarterback at North Texas. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, they only allowed him to go for 185 through the air. Texas State 225 through the air. TCU is really the one that gave them some trouble, allowing 236 on the ground and 188 on the ground. 188 through the air. And Tulsa, right? Tulsa had a great game versus SMU. They allowed 346 through the air and 154 on the ground. And so I don't think this SMU defense is going to be able to absolutely, shut down Temple. But I don't think Temple will be finding success on consistent drives like I see SMU finding. With the impact players that they have on that side of the ball, with how they've just been able to, they've just gelled, and they look like they're just getting better as the season goes along. Obviously, if they can't stop Temple, then this is just going to be another shootout. But like I said, I don't really have a lot of belief in Temple's quarterback, Anthony Russo. Like I said, he has been playing better, but he really is a turnover machine. And I think SMU is going to do a good job in capitalizing on some of his weaknesses and his flaws, and doing their best to bring that to the surface in this game. Really, I just see SMU dominating this game as from an offensive perspective, through the air and on the ground. I think they're going to have a balanced attack. I do think Temple will be able to slow them down on particular drives, but they're not going to be able to stop them for 4 quarters. And I don't think Temple's offense is going to find a lot of success. So those guys on defense will they're going to be on the field for a lot of plays. And then essentially that's going to wear them down. As we get into the second half, late in the third, we're going to see SMU kind of take over the game and they'll finish off this game. I think SMU wins 38-20. Once again, my final score, SMU wins 38-20. With that being said, we're going to continue my predictions, talking about a few other big matchups on the week. With that being said, I appreciate you guys for listening. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
Yeah, stay prepared for the up and downs. Life is like a seesaw. Some say it's a bitch, man. I couldn't agree more. 1 minute you're wrong.